Hello children, it's Rabbi Lister here with another evening story. This one is about the great Torah scholar Hillel, who lived about 2,000 years ago. And he loved to learn Torah, and it's the only thing he wanted to do. Unfortunately, Hillel was very poor, and he found it very difficult to earn a living. And what he used to do was he used to try to find some work in the day, and in the evening, if he had any money spare, he would go to the Beit HaMidrash, the place where all the Torah scholars gathered to learn Torah, and he would pay a bit of money to the guard who stood outside the Beit HaMidrash to make sure it was safe. And then the guard would let him in, and he could learn Torah with all the other people. One Friday morning, he wanted to find some work to do so that he could earn some money to go to the Beit HaMidrash in the evening and learn Torah. But unfortunately, try as he might, he couldn't find anybody who wanted him to work for them. So he didn't earn any money the whole day long. And towards the evening, just before Shabbat, he went to the Beit HaMidrash and he said to the guard, "Please let me in. I don't have any money, but I must learn Torah because it's so important." And the guard said, "No, if you don't have any money, I can't let you in." What was poor Hillel to do? Well, Hillel had an idea. He knew that there was a kind of a window set in the ceiling of the Beit HaMidrash. It's called a skylight. So he climbed up onto the roof of the Beit HaMidrash and he lay down on the skylight, on this special window in the roof, and he put his ear against the glass in the skylight. And if he listened carefully, he could hear the words of Torah that were being taught in the Beit HaMidrash down below by the great Torah scholars Shmaya and Avtalion. Well, Hillel didn't realize how dangerous this was going to be for him. It was in the winter when he did this, and as he lay there on the skylight, straining to hear the precious words of Torah, it began to snow. And it snowed so hard that he was covered with the snow, and he was so cold he couldn't move. And he had to stay on the skylight the whole night long. And even after everybody had gone home and gone to bed, he lay there on the skylight, freezing cold. In the morning, Shmaya and Avtalion, the two great teachers, came to the Beit HaMidrash first thing in the morning to do some more Torah learning. And they looked around and they thought, "It's a bit dark in here. Why isn't the skylight letting in lots of light?" And they looked up to the ceiling and they saw on the skylight there was the shape of a man. And they said, "Oh my goodness, there's somebody lying on the skylight and he must have been there all night long." So they rushed outside and climbed up onto the roof, and they found Hillel covered with snow. And even though it was Shabbat, they knew that they had to act fast to save his life, because it was so very cold that it was dangerous for him. So they brought him down into the Beit HaMidrash, and even though you can't normally do this on Shabbat, they lit a fire because we're allowed to break Shabbat to save a life. And Hillel gradually got warmer, and he was able to talk to them. And they said to him, "Hillel, what were you doing on the skylight?" And he said, "Well, I wanted to come into the Beit HaMidrash to learn Torah, but I didn't have any money to pay the guard, so he wouldn't let me come in. So I decided to climb up onto the skylight and put my ear against the glass so I could hear the words of Torah that you were teaching." Shmai and Avtalion said, "Well, it's a beautiful thing that you care so much about learning Torah, but you mustn't do that again. It's very dangerous." And everybody in the Beit HaMidrash decided that because poor Hillel wanted to learn Torah so much, They would tell the guard to let him in without paying. And that's what happened, and Hillel was able to go in whenever he liked to learn Torah. And he learned so much that he became the greatest Torah scholar of his generation. Thanks for listening, children. Stay safe.